Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks again for joining us on this wonderful Thursday evening. Tonight we have Ray Anthony Height, and we'll be talking about his series that's going to be launching in about 2 weeks. We also have Caleb Ady, and he's brought along his brother Jacob and his girlfriend Brenna Langley. So we're gonna happy to see them here. And I see that Ray isn't here yet, but so hopefully he'll be able to get get here soon. Anyway, so don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break. All right. If you guys haven't hit that follow button, please go ahead and hit that now. We've got some exciting events coming next month and to the end of the year. And so you want to make sure that you stay on top of that and keep in touch with what's going on here at the EXP. And that way we can continue to bring you these wonderful shows like Nick Barushi's The Original Art Show every Fridays at 7 p.m. Okay. Now we also have several new shows that you're going to want to check out. So that's you want to definitely stay on top of that as well. Okay, so um, tonight we're supposed to have Ray Anthony Height. He's not here yet, but we still have Caleb Ady, Jacob Ady, and Brenna Langley. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
I see you guys are all on the board. So Jacob and Caleb, who's older?
I am. I've got him beat by a few years.
Oh, okay. Is that
Was that Jacob?
yeah? Was that
Yeah, sorry, Jacob. I've got him
okay?
beat by a few years.
And are you a comic artist?
Yes and no. I do this more as a freelance. I've got a day job, but this is working on getting this going as a full-time career. I've done some freelance work with. I just recently got to work with Lucasfilm on their Star Wars Chrome 2025 Chrome cards.
Nice,
So that was a fun experience.
nice.
Wow.
Okay. Uh, how about you, Brianna?
So this is actually my first live stream. I taught myself how to draw, and I'm slowly trying to get my name out there. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's a lot
Okay,
less cool
okay.
than Jacob's.
All right. So are you plan? So you want to get onto an artist alley table eventually? Is that it?
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I've always loved art, and moving everywhere. My dad was Army, so we moved all over the country, and being able to kind of have a constant during that time was nice, and that was art. So
Uh-huh. So have you been outside the country or mainly here in the U.S.?
I'm so sorry. Give me just a sec. I'm getting some massive feedback from Caleb.
It's my bad. Uh,
Can you put like headphones on?
Is that
Yeah, that happens
oh,
when it's
that,
there's two audio devices close by.
oh, I thought that was just the night crickets going on.
No,
Okay, all right. So Brianna, I was asking if you
give her time to set up. Maybe you can change question to Jacob instead.
okay. Uh, Jacob, you said you're not. Are you professionally trained?
Uh, More or less. I've gotten a chance to work with some smaller comic artists out here in Colorado Springs, or at least work as their intern. But yeah, in short, yeah, very for the most part, professionally trained.
Okay, all right. And you said you recently worked on some comics. Have you had other projects as well?
Before that, it was it was there's a few small local artists. I got to work with a gentleman on a print or poster print for some of his music that he has releasing coming up in October. Preston Knight. But yeah, I got to work on. He
Mm,
wanted to do
okay.
something very Stranger themes, vampire-esque. So we delivered some posters that he'll be releasing coming October.
So what kind of art do you like doing? What
Yeah,
medium do you like to work in?
Professionally, I prefer doing digital art. I love the what is it? I don't want to say the mixed media, but the versatility of it. I always go back to sketching though. Sketching the hand pencils and just having the paper. That's my bread and butter. That's where I really enjoy the creativity of it. But that's mainly I work with the digital space. Enjoy myself doing the pinups, especially like the what is it? The works of like Gil Elfgreen Evelgreen or Evelgren.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. J.C. Leyendecker, those kind of
Oh,
artists.
wow.
Those really drawn by those.
That's
Okay.
really old school illustration.
I think they've got the best ones. Or at least it might just be my bias. I really enjoy the way that they approach the human body, the figure, especially when you get into like the older comics like Jack Kirby and just or like Action Line comics and stuff like that. That's really what I thoroughly enjoy visually. So that's just getting to do those ones or doing pinups like that really is a fun experience.
Okay. And what are you working on right now? That's in front of us.
My brother told me that he was like, we should look at doing some like more monster themed ones, and I was like, you know
Mhm.
what, let's do some. I know that they like got Elvira and there's like the Vampirella kind of pinups. And I'm like, I haven't seen any much of Bride of Frankenstein, so I wanted to do a little bit of an homage to the original. I think it's like the 1990s or earlier,
Yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay, and your starting bid on this is let's see, am I reading that right? $20?
Yeah, roughly $20. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, he's got a low bid on
That's a
there.
really good price.
That's a low starting bid there, guys. So
Yeah,
if you
guys,
want to
bid on
jump on that,
Yeah.
go ahead and do that. Place your bid in the comments. And how about you, Brenna? What are you working on?
So one of my favorite manga artists is Junji Ito. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. But I just think he is a great example of like unconventional horror. Like it's almost Lovecraftian in a way. And so my piece is an homage to some of his most iconic works. So you have Tomie Uzumaki, cannot for the life of me remember this, and then his cat from the Cat Diaries. But I just thought it was fitting since the theme is monsters, and that's pretty much all he does. Even if it's unconventional, he does monsters. So that's kind of what I'm working on currently. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You're doing this on an 11 by 17?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your starting bid on that is 50. Another low bid on there.
Gosh,
Hopefully it'll get up there for you guys and make it all worthwhile. So if anybody wants to bid on that, $50, go ahead and do that in the comments. I've been waiting this time too for Caleb. Can you hear us? Because you need to unmute. Yeah.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I think
he can hear you.
So Caleb
we just can't hear him.
Yeah, Caleb has his camera that is his art, and then there's another camera here that says Caleb Ady that should be a mic, but it's not getting any audio signal. So Caleb, if you just unmute the cam, I think I can deal with the feedback from both microphone sources.
Okay.
All right, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can. I've been able to hear you.
Oh,
but...
okay. All right. So, all right, we're glad to have you back here again. So, thank you for coming back.
Yes.
And just trying to get to my. And what are you working on tonight, Caleb?
Alien.
Oh,
just drawing another alien.
All right. And
Xenomorph?
let's see if I'm reading here. That's on 11 by 17, and your starting bid is 100, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go, guys. So if you want to bid on that Xenomorph, go ahead and put that in the comments. And at the end of the day, if you are the winner, you'll just have to fill out a our magic form that will give us your information, and we will complete that transaction. All right, so you want to say hello to, got some new people here, Kay, Lashatan,
Hello.
Short Circuit, Stevie B, Eddie, Mike, Bill, Stevie B, Kelly. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. And Mog, what are you working on?
I think I'll do Poison Ivy.
Okay, oh, yeah, that's right, Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Okay, anything special you're doing with her?
Steampunk, maybe.
Okay, Steampunk, Poison Ivy, and the starting bid on that is 150. So if you want to bid on that, go ahead and put that in the comments, all right? And
Oh, hello, Ilya.
hi, Ilya, good to see you there. Hopefully we see you soon. Okay. And how's everything going for you guys out there? Because you all live in Colorado Springs, is it?
Yes, sir. We're all at. Jacob's up in Denver, right?
Okay.
Yeah, up in the Denver area. I'll make a trip down there every so often, but I'm located up in the Denver area.
Okay. So you've got
This is more.
from the little that, so you've got this series, Man of Shadows. Who's your creative team on that, Caleb?
Yeah.
Is it just you?
It's just me.
You're doing the
So-
whole shebang.
Yeah, because I've had this idea since either late high school or early college. And then I
Okay.
just kept refining. And then I ended up having a low point of my work. So then I just decided to make myself some work.
Because we got that issue one, which is like a preview, and normally, for me to get excited about something, there's not much that can really do that after reading comics for 40 plus years. But with this one, when I sat down and I read it, I was actually surprised how much I liked it. There's not a lot of dialogue, but there was enough in the art itself that kept it going and moving. Right, so I'm actually excited for this series, and I hope you guys will too. There is a link. I'm hoping that I can get it on here where you'll be able to preview that and see what you guys think for yourself. Hopefully you'll like it as much as I do and support it. And you can get, and if you like enough, get a personal copy from Caleb as well. So Caleb, can you let us know you said you were inspired by the Divine Comedy, which is a heavy thing to be influenced by, because that is one of the best literature stories that that humanity has produced. What exactly is the journey that you're taking your character through? Is it here on Earth or is it in hell as well?
It's kind of a spin on purgatory. Because without giving out any spoilers, everybody that exists in this space has committed a great, terrible sin, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have the main character that's some type of gunslinger, and you'll figure out more as you're going along what his deal is, but everybody that he's fighting has done something bad. So the first one's basically, what's his name? The priest that drank the Kool-Aided his entire congregation.
Jim Jones?
Yeah, that's the inspiration for him. So
Okay.
it's kind of that excuse for me to do whatever I want for the story and the artwork.
Wait, so there was a real incident where he had following and everybody mass,
Yeah.
he made drink poison except himself?
So he did too. He just made everyone else do it as well, which sucks.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Reading a comment here from, see if I can get to it. Someone had said they liked the way how Jacob was drawing. It looked beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There you go. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. If you wanna bid on that, he's asking for a low starting bid of $20, so you can jump on that.
And also, Brenna, it's her first time live ever.
Yes.
Hers is very low too. Like yours is starting at $50. So please bid on that.
Right. And right now I want to welcome Ray Anthony here. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, sorry I had some computer issues, but I'm back. I ended up having to use my my headphones.
Yeah, we had some issues as well, so it took us a little while to get on there. And so yeah, it can't help it. Sometimes that kind of stuff just happens. So Ray, what are you drawing tonight?
I'm actually drawing Storm, and hoping it turns out well.
Okay, and you're doing that on 9x12, and you're also asking for a $50 starting bid, right?
Yes.
All right. So if you guys like that, you go ahead and put that in the comments, and that hopefully might be yours.
We didn't talk about Caleb's starting bid. Right?
His is 100.
So we don't know. We didn't introduce his.
We did.
We did?
Yeah. Boy, and I thought I was the one that was going to see now. Hey, so Ray, I saw on your page there that you just announced today that your studio, Sky Tiger, is now an independent contractor with DC Comics.
Yes.
So can you tell us, what does that mean for you and your studio? What is the nuts of that relationship?
So we recently did a couple of projects for DC early this year / last year. And it was sorry, let me turn this up. It was Absolute Power 25. We did the story with The Signal and Jace Fox Batman. And we also did Shadow Cabinet.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we did 3 things. And then we did a 3rd thing, which was Power Company Recharged. So on one of those books, we are credited. It's the first studio art production credit as Ray Anthony Height and Studio Sky Tiger. And so now going into DC, they have decided, they're going to work with us as a studio.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to have that.
Was that something you proposed to them, or did they propose that to you?
I actually proposed it to them when we were working on one of those projects, and I said, with my team, I'm trying to really build this studio because essentially we are a production team.
Right.
And let me turn off my light. Maybe you guys can see it better. It looks kind of bright. I don't know if that works. No, let's try this one. Hold on. Yeah.
Right, so you guys were like a production team, and I actually know what you're talking about too, because before I got into this with Mog, I also had my own production team, and we were being hired out as a studio as well. We were Kyozen Studios. We had produced comics for IDW and some of the comics that were out of Mexico as well.
Oh, that's great.
And some other independent books as well. The main thing that we had worked on at that time was Blood Rain.
I remember that book. That was cool.
That was back when it was doing good. They keep talking about bringing it back, but they haven't moved on that yet. Right. So who is in your studio?
So naming my current members, TJ Bell, who is basically my right hand, kind of helps me delegate, keeps our Discord and our studio Discord together. We coordinate things. So TJ Bell, look him up, and then we have Elisa Del Castillo, who is a SCAD graduate, recent SCAD graduate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty great. People in there, and then we have Marquise, who just goes by one name, and he everybody in the studio is super talented. And then we have my protege Nex, and I think when we met at Comic-Con Revolution, Nex was right there with me.
Oh, okay. So that's who she is.
Yes. Okay. So
she seemed to have like an active role there. So
definitely,
you was kind of like important.
Oh, most definitely. That's so yeah. That's my protege there. And who else do we have? We just got in Hope Marie Johnson, who's going to be working on our book WTF Mama. And let's see, who else do we have in there? Am I missing somebody? Michaela Green we have in there. I think that's it. So yeah, we got some pretty good talent in there. And what I decided to do, because they are people who wouldn't normally get the kind of breaks that, in the comic book industry, you kind of know how that goes. They wouldn't normally get the kind of breaks that some seasoned vets would get. So they've had the opportunity to work, on Batman and other stuff. We did the book Defiant. We did a lot of pre-production on that book. Yeah. So yeah, we really been doing some stuff.
So that's kind of like the main reason why you were pushing the studio instead of just yourself.
Absolutely.
You're not only you got the studio together, but you're mentoring these people.
Yes.
And trying to get them to get their breaks, learn the system, how this industry works.
And you already know how this industry can be. It'll break you.
Oh, it's brutal. People don't know it. It's brutal. But let's go back a little bit here. How did you get started in this? Is this something that you had always done before, or wanted to do before?
I've always been interested in the studio. I am a anime and manga fan, and I really enjoy that type of level of production environment and mentorship that they do in those studios. And I always wanted to. I have a lot of stories, so for me,
I bet.
Yeah, I have so many. I have so many stories.
40 years, I have stories too, but
oh my God, and you probably already know. It's easy to say, like, there are things in this industry that we wish we knew before we entered. Not that we would change being in it, but we would definitely navigate ourselves a little differently. So yeah, and I thought to myself, with my experience, and people come to my table all the time asking for advice. Somehow I became the advice guy.
Yeah.
So and I just decided, well, I want to do my own comics. I've always been interested in publishing my own comics. I have my own create your own title. So let's try to get some more stories out. And at the same time, I was continually being asked to work on projects for Marvel and DC. So that's how it came about.
Okay. So, but are you formally trained?
Yeah, I actually. So I'm a hodgepodge. Like I'm a big mixture. I actually taught myself, then went to school. Like they saw my portfolio, and then I ended up going to art school. But before I was doing that, I went to go in for school for fine art, and I ended up becoming a teacher of fine art. So that was very, very interesting. And I did that for 2 years, and then I, went. I was already working professionally to a certain degree,
Uh-huh.
but I
In the comic
never.
industry?
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry.
In the comic industry, you're working professionally?
Yeah, I was. I done a lot of stuff independently, and my first comic I actually self-published when I was 19.
Okay,
So
wow.
yeah,
What
I've been a busy bee.
what was that your first comic published?
It was an anthology, and I think it was called Midnight Shadows Presents, with me and a bunch of my high school friends,
Oh, okay.
and it actually sold pretty well, you know.
So
And
that was
so,
something that you produced yourselves.
oh, absolutely, yeah. We
Wow.
went to remember
Jeez.
Kinko's. We went to we
I
printed the
remember.
book at Kinko's.
I hung out at Kinko's so much,
Yes,
getting
like you
stuff done
have
there.
stories about Kinko's.
Oh yeah, there's stories at Kinko's. Image guys hanging it out at Kinko's. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's funny because
Yeah,
I met a lot of the image guys during that time as well. It's like a lot of people from not too many people from Wellstone, but a lot of people from Rob's studio I met and became good friends with because we all lived fairly close in the same area.
that's kind of like the crowd that I was hanging around with, or Mark Silvestri's studios. So it was either Top Cow or Extreme, right? So
Yep. There you go. Extreme.
yeah,
That I know a lot of guys from Extreme.
where are you at? Are you in the Philippines area?
I was actually in so I grew up in Compton, and so our local shop was called Jeffrey's Comics.
I know Jeffrey.
You know Jeffrey? Okay.
I
So
know Jeffrey a long time.
yeah, that was a
Yeah.
haunt. I was there all the time as a kid. Like all the time. I spent probably most of my at least half of my youth there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hang out at his store a lot, but I knew Jeffrey because I don't know if you attended the comic book show at the Shrine Auditorium.
All the time.
Yeah, I was a dealer there for a long time, but I knew Jeffrey because when I moved to California from Hawaii, I moved into Rolling Hills.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so the first store, the closest big store that I wanted to hit was Jeffrey's, right?
Yeah.
And coming from Hawaii, where we just had these kind of like rinky-dink stores and stuff, going there and seeing the amount of Silver Age books and key books that he had and how he kept them in a vault, and he had a press for them as well. I was just super stoked and awestruck
Oh
that
yeah.
at what level this guy was, as a collector, as a seller, and a comic book retailer. Eventually I hit all the other stores as well, like Golden Apple and so forth, and other stores too. But yeah, and I would see Jeffrey at the show,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And
All the time.
he and I would talk. We would talk comics, we'd talk business, we'd talk about a lot of things, right? And I gotta say, I really miss that guy.
Yeah, me too.
He was so entertaining.
I love your choice of words.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes.
He always we always ended up like laughing and so forth. So yeah, when I moved, I actually moved back to Hawaii in like 2012. So and then I moved back to California in 2018, and I was like really surprised to hear that he had passed away during that time.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, but yeah, I remember Jeffrey's very, very fondly.
Yeah, he was an eccentric guy, but his love of comics was infectious.
Oh my God, he was, he was up there with the top guys in the industry during that time.
Yeah.
You had him. You had Heroes was kind of coming along. You had kind of what's his name from Mile High Comics, and then you had Bob from Golden Apple. These were the names that we would listen to when we went to like to San Diego Comic Con, right? And, as far as like retailers go, and there were some other guys too, but we were like fortunate to have those guys in our corner of the industry where we could actually talk to them, right? And have signings at their stores. Golden Apple had like so much. I remember going there for Frank Miller's signing when they did the Batman Returns series there, along with Ronin as well. Yeah. But anyway,
Do you remember Comic Vendor? Do you remember that guy?
was that in Torrance as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
He wasn't too far from
you're right.
there because I do
So-
remember Bob for sure. I used to go to Bob's as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Comic Vendor guy. I wonder if he's okay, if he's still around.
Yeah, I
So-
didn't go into his shop as much, but yeah, I do remember that shop. There was a shop in Glendale, Eagle Rock. I mean, something like another place in comics, another Galaxy comic book store, something like that.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but you would go in there. The guy would never move away from his counter, and there were boxes and boxes of piles of comics, and these were like comic boxes, long boxes, short boxes, and diamond boxes. But he could tell you where anything was. If you're looking for something, he'd tell you where it was. You just have to have the patience and physicality of it to be able to lift those boxes off to get to the box that it's in.
Yeah.
Pull it out, But amazing memory. And then there was also Comic Heaven out in Alhambra.
Oh, I remember that.
And I forgot his name, but he dealt mainly in Silver Age. I see him around still at the cons across the country, mainly in Texas. I think that's where he had moved to. But yeah, a lot of
So-
stuff. Then.
A lot of memories.
Ironically, you guys are talking about these old shops. We're
Yeah,
working on a documentary screening for local comic shop day that features Chuck Rosansky from Mile High, that
Wow.
features Jeffrey Jr. and a bunch of the other guys who worked at Jeffrey's,
Wow.
who now are working the LA comic book scene on
Right.
this documentary.
right.
That is super cool.
Yeah, you got June Goku, who used to work for Jeffrey, one of his good employees too, that now runs
The comic book.
Comic Bug. He's got like 2 shops out here. Yeah, but there's a lot of comic book stores now than there were before, if I'm remembering correctly. And the funny thing is that I pretty much know all these guys. They either were dealers, they were started out as dealers like me, or somewhere. You can't help but bumping into these guys at a con, at a comic book show, or something that's like going on. And so it's it's kind of good to see and know who these people are. Yeah. When is that documentary coming out?
I was gonna ask.
So it's out already. It just won the film festival at San Diego,
Wow.
and it's doing other film festivals and other conventions. But the debut on the internet
Uh-huh.
will be local comic shop day here on the Experience.
Oh, that's
Nice.
and that's why you want to hit that follow button. Okay.
And then, ironically, we will join the filmmaker live in person at a theatrical screening he's doing that night for a Q&A, immediately following our screening of the documentary.
Where is that going to be?
I don't know that I'm at liberty to say.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Always keep it.
Mainly because I don't think the theater's booked yet.
Okay.
But it's going to be Lima, Findlay, Columbus, Ohio, somewhere in that area.
Okay. All right. Not California, dang it. Okay. All right. Let's see. You did some work for the mainstream guys back then, Ray.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? How did you break into the mainstream?
Most of the guys. So I started working on, do you guys remember the old like Pencil Jack forums, like artist forums that they used to have? So
Yeah.
You know, everybody who's, let's call it a big name now, used to,
Yeah.
we all started there.
Right.
And, you know, people were moving towards image and getting different jobs and stuff like that. And I ended up at working with Jay Ferber at Image
Okay.
on Noble Causes. That was like, I would say, let's call it my first big break.
Okay.
And so I used to do backups on that book, which is great. Working with Jay was awesome. But eventually, and I was back and forth doing independent stuff over and over again. But
Okay.
at one point, I became friends with Kevin Grievous, you know, of Underworld fame.
Uh-huh.
And he was doing, he got a Marvel gig doing Spider-Man Family. And he wanted me to do it, you know. And so Kevin, I already knew CB Cebulski, a bunch of other people, Mark Brooks, or, you know. And so between getting the assignment, you know, Kevin had already pitched me to the editor, Nate Cosby, and I got a phone call, and that was it. And that's how I broke in. That was my first book.
How did you feel about that?
You know, I was excited and terrified at the same time. You know, and it's also one of those things where I actually didn't work again for Marvel until a year later, and that kind of broke me, man. It kind of messed me up because I thought, and which was what we all think, once you break in, that's it. Like, you just have a
you're
job.
in.
Yeah,
Right.
that
Nope.
is not true.
That is not true. No.
That is not true at all. And so
That happen. I've actually seen that happen more times now than before.
really,
Yeah, I think it's because there's just like a flood of so many artists now, and we don't have as much books as we did back then, like in the 90s.
true.
There was like books coming out all over the place, and today, even though we have this independent market going on stronger than ever, especially with things with campaign projects like Kickstarter and all that, but then we've also have this international flood of creative people coming into the industry as well
True.
that have caused a competition locally for us. And so, you know, it doesn't seem as easy to keep a gig like it was before. Because I've seen all the guys in the 90s that came in, and the 80s that would come in, they would get it, you know, work their way up through Weather Comics, Malibu, AC Comics, or First and Pacific, right? And then once they get into like Marvel and DC, they kind of have a good flow going. It may not come as quickly, but they weren't waiting a year to get another gig. You know, like not like now. You might get something now, but you're not really sure what you're going to get next. Right? There's just so many now that have like come into it. Anyways, but that's kind of like what I'm thinking what is happening there. But so
I agree. Actually, that happens a lot because I actually came on the tail end. So my friends broke in before I did. So my break in was 2007, 2008.
mhm,
But I had friends, you know, breaking in. Kari Randolph, Mark Brooks, Sanford Green. They were doing stuff, let's say 2, maybe 3 years before me. Like they broke in and because we were all doing independent. Like
yeah,
I believe Mark, Sanford, and myself worked on that independent book, the same independent book for years. And I think the guy's name was Eric Woodard. He's still a great guy. And so they were, you know, it was funny because they were like, well, what's taking you so long, dude? Like, what's going on with you? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So when it finally happened, you know, they had already had done books, you know what I mean? Like they were already there. So I think I just finally crossed over into mainstream stuff at the time where they were essentially restructuring.
mhm, yeah.
So yeah.
So another thing, another difference is how submissions are done now.
Yeah.
Before you could just like easily mail them in, you know. Now it's more like don't send your submissions. Just keep doing the work. Get some gigs elsewhere. Learn to trade. Learn the process. Once you start making it and we hear your name, we'll call you.
That's exactly how it gets done now.
Yeah. Right. So whereas before, you kind of have a shot to get your stuff looked at. Doesn't mean you're going to get in. Like if you listen to Todd, right? He's the artist from the '80s trying to break in. He went through how many 700?
Oh God, yeah.
No, before he got a break.
Yep.
But at least you could send them in.
That part sounds so easy compared to what we have to do now.
Yeah. What you have to do now, it's like you got to go through the trial, the hard trial, and learn as you go and learn the process. It is much harder then because you're just kind of like thrown out there without that much of a lead, and you got to figure things out yourself, right? But
I'm happy to publish myself
that are
before I
willing
can
to
get a publisher.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look around the room and see what everybody's got here so far, and review what we have going on here. Let's take a look at Jacob. Bride of Frankenstein. Looking for a low bid of $20 to kick this off.
I think someone already bidded.
Did they? All right, I might stand corrected, and we'll look at that. I don't know how
we have a $20 bid from Kayla.
Okay, there you go. Kayla's got 20 on that.
Thank you.
Looking for the next bid of 25. All right, and that is looking really good there. Okay. Let's take a look at there we go, Brenna.
Hello. Can you see this all right?
Yeah. There you go. We're looking for a bid of $50.
Ilya is already in on that one with $50.
Yes.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow,
I
Ilya,
appreciate. This
very
is my
good.
first stream, so I just wanted you to know that means a lot to me. Hey, I'm serious. What?
And
Don't laugh. Come on.
No,
Yes.
Brent, we're not laughing, right? We're actually pretty happy, and I'm glad that you did it here. Like if Caleb had told you anything when he was here on the show, I think he was kind of like surprised with how things sold here. We've got a really good group that come and support the artists that we bring here. So, and when I thank you guys for coming on the show, I also thank them for coming on the show as well. Right, because they've been big supporters of the show. Not only do they watch the show and listen and interact with us, but they also purchase the artwork that's produced here. And we have a high sell-through rate. I'm very proud of that. Ilya's been with us from the very beginning, so you got a good guy that's buying your piece of art. He's bought a lot as well. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Ilya.
There you go. All right, next we have Caleb, who's doing the Xenomorph.
Wow.
That looks great.
Yeah. Okay. So and what can you expect? Okay, this is the guy that won.
Ilya just bid on Caleb 100.
Yeah, of course. After you saw that, yeah.
Thank you, Ilya.
and we got a bid of $50 on Ray for his storm. Okay.
Thank
Oh,
you.
nice.
That's from
Thank you, whoever.
Thank you so much.
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle. Kyle is.
All right, so all our guest pieces are pretty much sold, and we can only go higher from there. We want to thank you for that. But yeah, okay, Caleb won the January Spawnuary Villain contest. So, and there's the reason why. Look at that work. Okay, and this is what we're talking about. When you look at his Man of Shadows series, right? The artwork is just as beautiful, and I'm expecting a lot when that book comes.
Dude.
You're putting pressure on.
Yeah, I'm putting pressure on him. Hell yeah. I'm excited already.
He's putting pressure on himself too. Don't you worry.
Oh man, you're not helping. Why are you doing that? Caleb, don't worry. Just do whatever.
Okay.
Don't think too much.
All right, now last but not least, let's take a look at.
You might have to do it closer to the. That's Ray.
Well, here's Ray
Oh, let's look at Ray.
working on Storm. Okay.
Wow.
And that has a bid of $50 from our producer Kyle. So thank you for that.
That looks like a big piece. I would say about.
Oh yeah, I think it's 9 by 12. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know. It looks bigger than 9
It's
by
like
12.
10 by 14, but maybe it's the angle. Yeah.
It might be the angle. It might be the angle.
Listen,
So-
if Victor Dandridge and Monty Latif found out I was here with Ray and didn't bid on his art, I would get my ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. It never happened. Yeah. It's an anonymous man who.
You're getting-
Anonymous guy who's bidding on Ray.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a steal of a deal right now. So we're looking for the next bid of 55 on that. If anybody wants to put that down, and more if you want. All right, and then last but not least, here we have is Mog's piece.
You have to do
I see that. Done. Okay, and this is a steampunk poison ivy.
Nice.
And if you want to bid on that, it is 150. Okay, 200 at the shows. All right, there you go. We've got taking a look at all that right now. And again, if you want to bid on any of that, go ahead and put that in the comments. At the end of the show, if you are the high bidder, just fill out the form. That'll give us the information that we can relay to the artist to seal that deal and complete that transaction.
I'm actually curious about Ray, because Ray, you said you were learning fine arts.
Yes.
Why fine art? Like, what did you learn in fine art? Was it like master studies, or was it really like abstract Picasso art? Like, what is it? What did you learn?
So I would say it was a little bit of everything, and I'll tell you the story, and it's kind of interesting. So I was getting ready to leave a job, and I saw this ad about learning art, and so I had never actually had any formal training at that time. Let's say I was 24, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. So I never had any formal training. Everything I'd ever done, I taught myself. So I decided, okay, you know what? Let me up my game. I want to basically be so good that I don't get denied in this industry. And so that was my goal. And so I go there, and I did the whole thing with the portfolio and all that. And then what ended up happening is I start the classes, and the guy says, and it was Larry Gluck's Mission Renaissance. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but Larry Gluck was a famous watercolorist, and I actually really loved watercolor, so that was the other thing that drew me to it.
Oh,
And so, when I got there, the guy says, you know what? We're actually looking for instructors. How about you do kind of a work study thing where you learn and, we'll pay you to teach at the same time. And that was pretty crazy, because I was like, I'm not classically trained. Like, I taught myself, and they were like, they don't care what I showed them. Basically convinced them that I was, ready to do that. So, there I learned how to oil paint. I learned traditional watercolor under his Larry Gluck's technique. And what else did I learn? Pastels. Like, I learned a lot there. I really did. And I use it to this day. Like, different techniques I still use to this day.
Mhm.
But it has helped me really master certain parts of the craft tremendously. So yeah, I became a teacher and a student at the same time.
Okay, so now you've got you've been working on your Midnight Tiger, your own creation.
Yes,
You're set to launch the next issue in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
that's correct, sir.
Okay. So tell us about what that is all about.
So I originally launched the series Midnight Tiger as there was a So essentially, it is a urban fantasy about a kid who has superheroes in his universe, but for some reason, he's never seen one actually in his town, and they're all over the world. And so he comes to find out through an accident where there was a hero who actually came to his town who was injured. And he saves this hero. This guy was, he ended up dying, but he bequeathed his power to him. And so instead, what the kid decided to do was become the hero of his city. He later finds out, and that's the origin story. He later finds out that the city has a barrier. It's a dimensional rift. So superheroes actually, some of them don't see it, and some of them come into it and lose their memory and forget they were ever there.
Wow. Okay.
So him becoming the hero of his city has to figure this out. What's happening is it's been a dimensional shift where these creatures that are like goblins and Tolkien-esque, demons and stuff like that, they're disguised as humans, and they are about to start a magical coup to take over the earth, but they're starting in his city.
Oh,
That's
okay.
really interesting.
And your character, his name is Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin Shaw.
Okay. And I think I was reading somewhere that the superheroes have turned a blind eye to his city, Apollo Bay.
They have.
Oh, they have.
They have, because they don't even know that they're doing it. So here's a little bit of context. So I'm giving you guys all the backstory. So he's going to find out that every dimension has a magical atmosphere. And there are some dimensions that have, let's say, from 1 to 100. So there are some dimensions that have a magical atmosphere of 80 or 100. That means that magic is commonplace. And his dimension only has 15%. So when these invaders who come from a place that have a magical quotient of 80%, they are pretty much the most powerful thing on that planet. And for magic, the humans that are in our, even the superheroes. So let's say Captain America has no defense, a Spider-Man has no defense. So these guys are basically powerless against this magical ability of these invaders. However, I'm not going to give this part away, but let's just say that Gavin has some dimensional friends that kind of warn him that what's coming. And those dimensional friends, one of them is Monkey Man and O'Brien.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I know who that is. You got the right to use the character?
I talked to Arthur himself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, yeah, it's perfect because Gavin has appeared in a lot of people's comics. Everybody loves the character so much. They're like, hey, can I use him? So he's been in a lot of crossovers already. And so one of the great ways that I explain this away is that he becomes, one of those beings that traverse dimensions fairly regularly. And so they're all kind of attracted to each other. And if you read Monkey Man and O'Brien, that's exactly what they do as well.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I actually liked that Monkey Man O'Brien.
Me too. I loved it.
I mean, with Arthur Adams doing the art too, it's really sweet as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is an interesting backstory there to know. Yeah, now I'm really interested in that series. So who are the icons?
So the icons are the team that the guy who ends up giving Gavin his powers, he used to be a part of that team. Okay. So the idea was once Gavin got the powers, he would basically replace Lion's Blood, who was the guy who gave him his powers, on the icons. And instead, Gavin did not join the team. He was a big fan. He was a big superhero nerd. And he was a big fan, but he realizes I can do more good staying in my city to help them out. This is before he even knows what's coming, because the guy he ends up beating hints at it at the end of the first book. Yeah. Like he said that he was keeping the body count down.
Okay.
So,
Right.
because essentially these creatures are called castrals, and they have 3 ideas for humans: slaves, food, or entertainment.
Wow.
Nice. Nice. So who is the creative team on that series? Is that all you as well?
That is all me, aside from colors. Some colors will be done by me, but
Uh-huh.
um, the lettering, the all the line art, the story, all of that is all me. Yeah, I have people doing the flatting, and I'm hired a colorist, but we have
Mhm.
variant covers from all kind of people. It hasn't been announced, so if anybody's watching this live right now, one
Mhm.
of our variant covers is going to be done by Cully Hamner.
Okay.
So
How many covers are you planning to have?
right now, it looks like 6 variant covers.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like 6
Can you
variant
say who else you're going to have on there?
covers. So I can't. So we're going to have Sean Damian Hill as one of the other cover artists. We have Frank Uzan, who's another cover artist, who's going to do a cover. We have Nate Lovett. We have Julian Shaw. Um,
Wow.
let's
Okay.
see. We have 2 other people who haven't gotten back to me
Uh-huh.
yet. So we'll see if I get those covers or not. That's why I'm keeping that close to the vest.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah. You don't want to announce anything that's not firm. I definitely understand.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the covers that I mentioned are covers that have either in progress or have been turned in.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Can I-
Yeah.
It sounds like you did a lot of world building
Oh
before
yeah,
even the characters. Is that true?
absolutely. Like as a writer, I mean, I consider myself a cartoonist since I write and draw. But as a writer, I'm all about character building. Again, like I'm a huge anime fan, manga fan, and one of the things that they definitely have, they have it down, is the ability to world build and character build.
Yeah.
And we, like, let's say take a Spider-Man for instance. There's like, over 50 years of Spider-Man lore. Different writers have put their stamp on it. There's some quintessential Spider-Man stories. So when you think of Spider-Man, everybody that's on the live right now could think of a story that they really, really liked, or something about the character. When a manga author comes into it, they have to really develop that character in such a way where you connect immediately. And so they develop the world. One Piece is one of the biggest, manga anime in the world,
Oh,
right?
yeah. With that many episodes?
Right. I like it's insane. So I try to watch. I think I watched about 30 of what is it, 1,000 episodes? Like I
Yeah.
watched about 30 of them. Yeah,
It's
and I'm
insane.
like, wow, and it's
There are
nothing compared to
there
1,000.
there are people now that have watched that since they were just like toddlers, and they're all grown up and in college, and they're still watching it.
They're still watching it because the
Yeah.
stories continue to come out. So that's kind of where I see myself. Like I see myself that type of creator. Even the thing with Hellboy, like I don't know if you guys, there aren't very many cartoonists. There's writers and there are artists, and they do independent work, and like Kirkman and Corey Walker and Ryan Utley. Like
Mhm.
it's all 3 of them. I think we recently got Daniel Warren Johnson. Like he's a cartoonist, but I think there's Eric Powell, but we don't have a lot of like true cartoonists, because Sergio Aragonis and Stan Sakai,
Mhm.
we have those, but I bet you can name, for every one of those guys, like Jeff Smith, you can name 20 writer artist teams for every
Easy.
one of those. Easy, right?
Easy.
So it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to do everything yourself, and to make it, and to have characters that resonate with people. Like I know that character, I like that character, so
That is the hard part.
Did you
that's the
have
hard
an,
part.
then did you have an easier time building worlds or characters?
I let the characters build the world.
Interesting.
So I develop the characters first. I let them kind of talk to me. I have an idea. So I have an idea about the world, like some of the basic stuff. So like the world that I have in the Apollo Bay world, which is technically before the dimensional merger, it was Long Beach. It was LA, but with superheroes. So imagine a 616 version of Long Beach and LA,
Okay.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when the dimensional rift hits, the name of the place that the owners of the old dimension came from was Apollo Bay. So now everybody thinks, using this magic barrier that they have, everybody thinks it's Apollo Bay. They don't know any different anymore. So it's that type of world. So now it would be like, how do I navigate this? So I have this kid who has these powers, who was kind of fed up. He was a big a fan of superheroes, but he was pretty pissed off that they don't help him. It's crime is running rampant. People have died that he loved, that he cared about, and he doesn't understand why this happens when there are people who can literally move mountains. So he's pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty upset about that. And so when fate steps in, if you're upset about not getting the help of superheroes, now you never wanted to be one. But if you get an opportunity to be one and you're upset about that, what do you think you're going to do next?
Yeah.
That's
Change the system.
Exactly. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to change the system. And really, there's people in his community that, he just loves. He loves his people. He loves everything about his city. And he doesn't feel like the world sees them as valuable. So he's making a difference with that.
wow.
Well, he was correct in his instinct, because you said they were actually run by these disguised humans where they're not really humans.
Yep, exactly. He was absolutely correct. And in the first issue, he brings it up to the leader of the Icons, and the guy basically says, "You are exactly right, but that's a story for another time, and I'm going to tell that story now."
Oh, okay. That's where it's coming in. Is this a standard 24 pages that you're running?
This one, I'm thinking it was supposed to be 20, but I'm thinking the story's expanded. So the main story, you know how that goes. The main story is going to be 30 pages, but we also have, we were talking about character studies, character backup. So I have backup. I have 3 4-page backup stories that are character stories of the characters that are in Midnight Tiger. And so one is about him and what he does outside. So and that story is done by TJ Bell, all studio. It's all studio. They do the penciling and the inking, and I write the story. So that one, called Furballs, is about Gavin, who he kind of wanted to be a chef before the superhero business. So he loves making food and stuff like that. And what he does is he makes food for the homeless, and him and his friends kind of go out and they, give food out. And he has a friend that he goes to, a regular friend who's homeless and has a pet raccoon. And so he visits them and he gets advice and different thing. And he kind of tells Gavin what's going on in the neighborhood on the streets. So that's a story.
You're hitting it right there, because one, I love food. And two, I love raccoons. I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Having one for a pet.
He's adorable.
What's the word?
Destructive.
Trash pandas are great. Yep, the trash pandas are great. I personally love them. It's like a human dog, because they have hands and fingers, and they're pretty cool. So that's a character.
They got their own characters.
They really do.
Yeah, they do.
So I think it's pretty great to have them on in the story. And then there's one where Gavin is planning playing a video game. I gave the story away, but he's playing a video game with his friend Dex, one of his best friends, and he's kind of like, I don't think he's very good at the game or something. I don't know. I have to double check the story again, but essentially that's a story. And then I have another one where the guy he beats in Origin, it's his backstory when he was a kid and how he got his powers, which is also the backstory of the entity that gave him his powers, that is also kind of running things in that city behind the scenes.
So, are you born and raised like in California?
I am.
So, you know how this is the most common thing they teach in writing, you write what you know?
Yes.
Are you based off some of the world building based off of California, like your neighborhood particularly? This is something that you took from, or were you like reinventing everything?
Oh, you got it there, Mog. That's exactly what I'm doing. I grew up in Compton, and I used to think as a kid, all the superheroes are in New York. We definitely need superheroes here.
Exactly.
Yeah, Marvel realized that at some point, and that's when they came up with the West Coast event.
Exactly, and that was actually ended up being one of my favorite comics. West Coast event.
It was a great series.
Yeah, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's exactly it. I'm taking. I mean, it's no accident that Gavin is a black nerdy kid and he spends all of his time with his best friends. He has some of my personality traits, but
the stuff that I was reading, right, and even though I don't really know you, I don't. Period. We just met at that. I'd pass your table booth many times at the shows. Never had a chance to talk to you except for that one this past Comic-Con Revolution. We briefly talked, but we were so busy trying to get to everyone, didn't really have that much time. But reading what I came across on this character, Gavin, so I could sense that it was you. You know? And then he said, "Yeah, this. I don't know why, but I think this is him. That
he's definitely got my values."
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Wow. Because I mean, I can clearly tell you're a kind of a intellectual, nerd intellectual.
Oh yeah, I am such a nerd.
So I wonder, growing up, like, did you even have enough friends to talk to? Like,
and so let me tell you what's crazy. It's so funny. Okay, this is great. You guys got me talking about my life story now. So what is very, very, very interesting about me is I was friends with everybody. Like, everybody knew me. I don't know if it had to do with the drawing or whatever it was, but I had a group of, let's put it this way. I had so many friends that I basically had to schedule hanging out with different groups.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was very interesting. So but here's the other part. The other part is that when you're growing up in Compton, the nerds get picked on, as they do during that certain time.
Yeah, Compton, man. That's like,
yeah, exactly.
You don't have to say no more. That's what I'm asking you.
It's a rough thing, but I was also the kid. So it was a couple things. I was also the kid that I knew that going in. So I had the cool kids friends. I had the nerdy kids friends. I had different sections of people to fit my personality.
Oh, so you had to like switch. You were like a chameleon.
Yes, very much.
Wow, that's a special ability, yo.
You know what? I had to develop it though because it kept me safe.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was kind of like that too. Growing up in Hawaii, Hawaii is kind of like there's still like a warrior race culture there, in a bit. So I have this one side that's kind of like nerdy, and I had pretty decent grades in high school. But you want to get along with the other side as well.
Yes.
And I did it mainly to stay safe.
Yeah. See, that's exactly it.
Yeah, because I'm not a big guy, and these guys were, we're talking Hawaiians. They're huge. They're big. Okay. There's a reason why a lot of them, quite a few of them, get into the NFL. So,
Nice.
but anyway, yeah. So I played like both sides as well, and I think, and also when I started working full time, and I had a corporate job for many years. You learn to do that as well, because you wanna just get along with everybody and make sure things go as smoothly as possible to get your work done.
And it only helps you.
Yeah,
Like,
I hope.
yeah, it absolutely only helps you, because what I ended up doing is also at the same time I was very interested in martial arts, so that was the other part.
Yeah,
and
we
I-
just grew up in the same era, same time. Yeah.
I think so. I think we definitely did, because I did that. It's not that I wasn't interested in the martial arts, but it was like when I was a kid, I was a little kid, probably like 12 or 13, and I got jumped. In my own house, and that was it for me. I was like, okay, this is never going to happen to me again.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up learning martial arts too. So, but I was still just as nerdy. At that point, I was just nerdy with the right people, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Caleb? Did you also do martial arts?
Caleb?
He's
Sorry. I have to clean my toothbrush. What's up?
Did you also
get into martial arts.
get into martial arts or anything?
No, I did not.
I did.
Really?
You did?
Yeah.
See,
Okinawan Kempo and Taekwondo.
that is fantastic.
Why did you lie, Caleb? Why did you lie?
Oh no, I did those.
She did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. So
No, that would have
Brianna,
been hilarious.
you're
6'3"
an army
Caleb.
brat, Brianna. So did you travel to the Asian countries? Is that why you got into the martial
Okinawa
arts?
Kempo.
No, so unfortunately, I never was able to move out of the country. Whole long story, kind of obnoxious to go through, but I did travel all over the U.S. and I don't know, it was just something that was a good way to exercise, kind of get out of my comfort zone, and I really, really enjoy. I think I like Taekwondo more than I like karate.
That's
Just
awesome.
because of the kicking,
Mhm.
there's more of an emphasis on flexibility and kicking and all of that, and I really enjoyed that. So I got to green belt, I think,
Okay.
but I want to start over. I want to do it again. I just
Interesting.
Wow.
don't have time.
That's so interesting because
I
now
got
you tell the story
about what?
why you also like Taekwondo better.
Well, I got into martial arts because of Bruce Lee, right? I grew up in that era. So watching those movies, I was a teenager. I was about 13 or so. So, and that was just those movies just kind of took over in the action movie era. And being kind of Asian, I felt like, oh, maybe I should learn that. So I actually started with a Japanese army karate that was called Kensu Ken, and I was in that for 2 years. Got up to green belt, right? But then my instructor, who was a retired Army sergeant, decided that it was time for him to retire everything.
Oh.
He was getting up there in age. So I went around trying to find what I could get into for martial arts. I tried Kung Fu for a year. I didn't like it at all, right? And then I got into Taekwondo. Right, and again, I ended up with another Army sergeant, and I got up to black belt. I became one of his top students. I also became an instructor, so I got that far with it as well.
Ooh.
But yeah, I liked it. Did the tournaments and that kind of stuff.
No, what I found it funny is that after trying, the karate in a way, you also found that you like taekwondo much better because you said it was more straightforward.
It was more direct.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Definitely.
what I like about it. Now the karate I was learning was also direct because it was a Japanese army karate, and they're trying to teach you how to take control of the situation and your opponent and depose of him as well. And he was also we were begging our instructor then to teach us things that that could more than just defend ourselves. He was reluctant to do so, but he did teach us some stuff, But I eventually got into the army as well, and I learned more there too. But yeah, so that was my thing. I got along really well with my taekwondo instructor, and this was in Hawaii. So he was stationed there, and eventually he got, he got shipped out, went to another base, and it was taken over by another guy who I didn't really care for. This guy was an older gentleman than me, and he started after I got in, so I just didn't feel like I was learning anything there, and it was mainly like I should have been the instructor, but I really didn't want to be because I
Yeah.
felt like I knew more, but so I was kind of like stuck in a way. But I finally got the balls to just say, you know what, enough, and I just left. Plus, I was getting into college. Things were starting to, other things were becoming of interest. That kind
I
of
wonder
thing.
what those things were.
Yeah, I wonder what they were. Studying? You like studying?
Oh, yeah. Studying was a big part. I would sit on campus all day watching people go by, studying them.
Oh,
Mm.
with that movie?
Uh-huh. So it was
Yeah.
studying,
It
just
was studying.
A lot of studying.
intriguing.
A lot of studying,
But yeah.
as much as I can remember anyway.
So you never got back to you, Ray. You never got any flack that because working in fine art, if they find out that you're doing comics, did you get any flack for that?
Oh, I absolutely did.
Okay.
And it's interesting how that works too, because the better you are, the more flack you get.
Oh.
Because they're, the way they thought about it, it was like, well, I guess, if you were okay, they were like, well, I guess you're good enough to do comic books, commercial. But if you were actually good at fine art, it's almost like they couldn't understand why.
Yeah.
It was like, why would you want to do comic books, when you could do paintings and portraiture and, all these other type of things. And for me, it was like, because that stuff's boring.
Exactly.
Like it's totally boring. And I would get no satisfaction from it whatsoever.
Can't get no
satisfaction. Yep. So I was just like, well, that's what I want to do. And then it was interesting because I ended up doing something for I don't know if you guys remember Tidal Wave. But I left that job to work on something for Tidal Wave, and it was the worst thing that ever happened because the actual job fell through, and so now I'm jobless. And that was kind of crazy, but everything worked out. Like everything was fine. But at the end of the day, it was just kind of like, oh, doggone it, I should have quit my job. But
working getting into the comic industry in itself, it's like you're going into the dark.
Yes.
So if you ever do time travel back to 20 years ago before you, and you meet yourself, and at that time you're scared, totally shitless, and you're just questioning, am I even going the right path?
Yes.
Because you want certainty, and you're just consumed by fear. What do you want to tell that Ray?
That's such a great question. You know, I would say it's going to be okay. Do it anyway, because this is your passion. This is what you were put on this earth to do. So, however it shakes out, just do it. It's going to be fine. That's what I would definitely tell my younger self, who was pissed off and angry that that situation just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because it did. It eventually worked out for me. I had to jump through a few hoops, but you know, at the end of the day, it definitely worked out. So I would tell them, just keep going. It's going to be fine, and you're going to be fine. And yeah, I would also say to myself, you know, continue to do your creator-owned work. Don't stop because you started working for the big two. And maybe I would have already have been where I am, but earlier.
Yeah.
Good advice.
I'm actually curious also, working for somebody else as a comic artist. You did interior pages, of course, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So doing that versus doing your own interior pages, are you faster or slower?
Oh, that's a good question. Also, you're just killing it with the good questions. I would say for my own stuff, the thinking part of it, I'm much slower.
Okay.
I have to think a bit more because the writing and all that stuff for someone else is already done. But my perfectionist self, who wants to deliver the best work, makes me slower. So overall, to just be very, very clear about the answer to that question, I am slower as an independent creator than I am as doing stuff for other people. Only because I don't know, it matters more. I don't know. I can figure out. I guess the stakes aren't as high because doing it for myself, it's kind of like advertising. Marvel and DC can wait for months. They can work on a project and sit on it for months, and they know people are going to look at it and won't lose interest. So when the 53rd reboot of Spider-Man comes out, everybody's still going to buy it. But with my own stuff, I have to advertise all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be fresh in people's minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the part where I'm like, nope, I'm going to post it now. I can't wait. I can't sit on this and just wait. I got to post it right now. And so you'll see me, post stuff all the time because I want the characters, my artwork, all that stuff to be fresh in their minds.
Interesting. Wow. You know what? When you said it's for you and it's a reflection of you, for some reason in my mind, immediately I was thinking Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
That's his magnum opus. And I'm thinking you're kind of in that situation where if you work for yourself, you kind of want to just blow people's mind because it's like you say, it's yourself. You want to show the best version of yourself, right?
That's exactly it. I'm looking to do my best work in all aspects.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my characters to be forgettable. Because people do stuff all the time. It's like, I don't know. Most people are thinking, oh, I'm going to go get McDonald's versus there's this mom and pop place that I've never heard of and I have to take a chance on it. I don't even know if it's good or not. And it could be great, but because it's not familiar, you don't take a chance on it.
Exactly.
So that's really it.
Okay, let's see. Caleb got a bid of 125.
Ooh, nice.
From the lieutenant.
Woohoo! Thank you.
And Bride is up to 45 from Jackie M. That. And let's see if I got caught up. 35, 50. Okay, yeah, there. We have that there. Got some pretty nice bidding coming in, so thank you guys for that. Let's go around the room and take a look at that. So let's see if we can text anybody else. We have about 20 minutes or so left here on the show. Going pretty good. All right, let's see. Who should we start out with first?
Well, maybe I think Caleb's.
If we can take a look at Caleb. I'm not sure if Kyle is there. He might be like jumping around. If we can look at, there we go. Caleb's Xenomorph currently has a bid of 125,
Wow.
and he is working that page. Look at
It's looking
that.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, where's the head? I can't.
Follow the tail, Mark.
Ah,
Follow the
okay,
tail.
okay.
The tail's on one end. All right. Okay. And now let's take a look at the storm there from Ray.
Wow.
That currently has a bid of 50. And he's inking that there, so you know
Beautiful.
that's going to come out good. And looking for the next bid of 55 on that if anyone wants to put that in. And there is the bride.
Woohoo! Such a classic.
That currently has a bid of 45. Looking beautiful, like a real hottie. For the next bid of 50 on that. Look at that, she's already puckered up there too. All right, and then next we have Brianna
Wow.
Ooh.
putting her flair on
So
the
Shinji Ito.
what's the word?
Jinji Ito.
Phantasmagoric.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the word I want to do it with Junji.
Okay.
Can you see it all right? I can't see my
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, we can see it, so that's looking good there.
It's good.
Cool.
It's good.
And that currently has a bid of 50 from Ilya, so we are looking for the next bid of 55 on that.
Thank you, Ilya.
Okay. Is that everybody?
Oh,
Oh, Mog.
I think it's
Mom
really
is still looking for a bid of 150 on her. She's working on the poison ivy. What is she holding?
herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you've seen Marg's work from the previous weeks, she's put a lot more into that. Okay. And there you have it. So we have about like another 20 minutes or so, I think.
Actually, I have a question for Jacob.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So Jacob, you're like what, 2 years apart from Caleb?
Actually, 4 years.
4 years? Okay.
Yep, 4 years.
You know the people that you listed, the artists that you like, they're all dead.
Yeah.
And you know, it makes me curious because it's very traditional. It's very like I said, it's old school guys. And since you like that kind of art style, I'm curious, do you like, are you drawn to like when you decorate your house or anything, are you drawn to antiques? Do you collect antique furniture or something?
Kind of actually. I do love a good vintage shop. A majority of my furniture is mainly like mid-century modern, but like that's like IKEA just for the affordability. So yeah.
Nice. How did you get to know these guys? Because usually we learn about them when you study like a history art or something.
I have to. It's back. They had a showing or what was it at the Denver Art Museum for the Norman Rockwell's work.
Oh.
Norman Rockwell, and then like the Saturday Evening Post got me into J.C. Leyendecker, and then Leyendecker got me into works like Gil Elfgren, and then other pinup artists like that. So it just kind of domino effect right after that.
So you actually like painting then, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. Man. So you actually saw some Norman Rockwell originals?
It was I think they had almost all of the Saturday Evening Posts, and then I think the best one that they had set up was the painting that he did of Ruby at the end of the exhibit, and I think a majority of those were originals that they had displayed.
Was it pretty fairly large-ish.
It was a lot of his paintings were a lot larger than I was expecting, especially when it came to like his work on like the his prints for the Saturday Evening Post. I thought they were going to be much smaller, but they roughly were like maybe 11 by 24, just like a good
Wow.
poster size,
Yeah,
which
they-
I thought was
they-
really impressive.
So were you blown away when you saw the rendering? The brush
Oh,
stroke?
it was I think I spent rough as like maybe about 5 hours there just staring at like how he did the technique. It was a fantastic time. I hope they bring that back around here sometime soon, but
Wow.
yeah, it was a fantastic exhibit.
I think that's what I would like to see one day. Is by the way, I also love all the artists that you just talked about. So it feels like a kindred spirit a bit.
Yeah.
I would love, before I die, to see original line decker for sure.
Amen.
yeah.
Right there with you.
And also, of course, Norman Rockwell. His rendering is just insane.
I think it was I forget which his posters were. I'm forgetting which prints that he did specifically for like the Thanksgiving one, and then the family gatherings. I'm forgetting what the series was called, but I think that was like really where he pushed those. Those are my favorite personally.
Yeah. Yes, he's so good with the control. You know,
Oh, exactly.
do you know then the artist Howard Pyle and NC Wyatt?
Ooh.
Yes, those ones are good.
Yeah.
I want to look into more of their work. Currently, I'm on a kick with Leyendecker again, just because I got one of his. It was a history of Leyendecker and his what is it? The blue collar, or not the blue collar, his white collar series that he did. So that's currently what I'm jumping into.
Is that the one where he does all the fashion for the men?
Yes, yeah. He I think it was I forget the brand specifically, but it's all of his pieces where it's that really stark white. I think it probably used negative space for it, but just the white collars on the for the each of the fashion prints that he did for it. But apparently that's what kicked off his career, but I find that very intriguing.
Isn't it like when you really study his like brushstrokes, it's actually very economic, right?
Oh, I am very intrigued on how if I'm not mistaken, I think it's very not minimalistic, but he doesn't use that many paint strokes, but he gets a lot of color value, or like just the texture and the not. If I were to like put him next to like a more conventional like Renaissance paintings or like the Impressionist and stuff like that, he leans more Impressionist, which I find fascinating. Or just like it looks flat from far away, but when you look at it really close, it's the amount of details with each stroke, or just it's wild to me conceptually.
It's almost like it's like what you said. The Impressionist, like Sargent, right? Sargent.
Yeah. Yes.
Very
Yeah.
economic with strokes, and then Leyendecker stylized it, made it more edgier, in my opinion. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
You guys are speaking my language right now.
Oh, what about Dean Cornwell? Isn't he amazing?
I'm lost. But okay.
What do you think
Dean's
about
great. What about Austin Briggs?
I don't know Austin Briggs. What did he do?
Oh, Austin Briggs, Al Dorn.
I'll
They
look
were
him
all
up.
part of that crew.
The Golden Age? Oh.
So there was a group. I'm sure if you're talking about who you're talking about now, I know you're very familiar. At least you should be with the famous art school.
Oh, I see it now. I just pulled it up on Pinterest. Yeah, I'm very familiar with these sketches. The Austin Briggs. Yeah, these are fantastic.
Amazing. And what's my guy? Robert McGinnis.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy, man. So good. But he was interesting because he used a lot of gouache.
Yes.
And I was like trying to study that, But...
You know what? The effect, if you're good at watercolor, you'll love gouache because it's such a combination of like oil and watercolor, and you could re-wet it and style it or whatever you want to do to it. It's never, one thing about gouache is it's never done because as soon as you re-wet it, it's activated again. But yeah, like the stuff that McGinnis was getting from that was incredible. Sometimes it could look like watercolor, and sometimes it could look like an oil painting. He was just that versatile.
Wow, this is so fun. But I think we're boring the viewers, so we need to.
I know. This is that nerd stuff I was talking about.
Oh, I love this. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, we got
10 minutes?
17
Ah.
minutes left.
I'm not gonna finish.
It's okay if you don't finish. You can like take your time and finish it, after the show and stuff.
Actually,
Okay.
I'm curious about the brotherly relationship between you, Jacob, and Caleb. So, Jacob, were you also interested in horror like Caleb, or did you always think Caleb is like this weird brother, this dark small guy? And you're like, oh
Well,
my
he
god.
is weird, but not for that reason.
Honestly, both of those really hit the mark because we're both really into horror. But if you were to stick us right next to each other, you could tell who's into horror and who's not. Or we're not visually very different, but yeah, you could just tell that Caleb's more into horror than I am.
And are you responsible for his liking of horror by any chance? Did you like terrorize him, or did you bully him?
No, we actually, I
Opposite.
sent the link to our parents, so this is gonna be fun if they're listening to it. We were very sheltered as kids, so we couldn't. Horror movies were really not on our agenda when we were younger. So as soon as we both moved out, we binged as many horror movies as we could. I think he did more of the modern, like the Babadook and the what was the Lighthouse, and I got into like the Man of the Black Lagoon, or like the Birds, and all the older horror ones.
All the classic older ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. So because Caleb was very repressed in what?
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love everything horror. Give me like all of it now.
Honest, I think that's pretty much Caleb to a T now.
Wow.
And I think that's one of my favorite parts about his artwork is it shows, and it shows really well.
You know, that's really sweet of you. I don't think that was lip service, because you actually said you love his work. I mean, as a sibling, that's huge. If my sibling told me that, I would have loved it. Yeah.
I think when we first started, I was a little jealous. I'm like, oh, he's going straight into the artwork, and now he's doing the what is it? I'm really happy that he's doing his own releasing his own Kickstarter for this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have competition now because he's that way. And our art styles are just what we're draw. We both have a fascination for the same artists and stuff like that, but our art styles are entirely different, so I don't think we have to worry about any competition.
You do work with Star Wars. We're
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say,
Jacob.
Yeah. But interesting.
Brianna, how much influence do you have on Jacob and the series he's working on?
I mean, Caleb's series.
Yeah, on Caleb's series, Man of Shadows.
I would say none, just because it's really his passion project. I'm just more like kind of I feel kind of bad saying this, but like the critiquer. Like he'll ask me certain things, like, "Hey, how does this look?" And I'm like, "This looks really good," or I might do this a little differently. But I try to give him ideas whenever he's like bouncing them off of me. Kind of like adding to it, but I don't ever want to influence his passion project to where it's no longer his.
Right. All right. So he bounces things off of you.
Yes.
Okay. So you do have, in doing so, you actually do have an influence on the project, but not a direct influence. But you.
No, and I don't want to, because that is completely his, and I want him to get the recognition and credit that he deserves, because he's worked so hard on it for so long, and he deserves nothing but the best, not just in this, but in all of his endeavors, because he's a great guy and a great artist. So I'm very lucky to have him.
Oh,
Man, I wish you were my wife. God.
Mog, I love you. I hope you know that.
No, I love you. No,
I love you. I love you more.
Oh man, let me step out of this.
This is the Mog and Brenna show now.
Yes, totally.
All right, we got just got a bid from Wilson Ty, a good friend of ours from Dallas, on $60
On Ray.
on Ray
Woohoo, thank you.
Storm.
nice.
Yay.
So,
Thank
and I'm
you.
not surprised because Wilson is a big
Yeah, he's a collector.
he's a big art collector.
He's an awesome dude.
So
You know, like Caleb, for your storytelling, because you said you had this like idea since high school and it was percolating. So for you, did you? I feel like you didn't even do world building or character. It was more like a mood that you had developed first. Like, what is it with you? How did it develop it?
There's a lot of stuff that I like to draw, and then put it all together from there. Personally, like, I mean,
Take your time. Sorry.
so
Pretty
when I
much like-
read stuff like Paradise Lost or Divine Comedy, there was something interesting about it that I thought, because I did a painting of, what's his name, the Dante Alighieri that wrote the
okay.
Divine Comedy,
yeah,
and I've been chasing that feeling ever since.
I thought
And
so.
with
So with
Man
you, it's a
Manage.
feeling that you're chasing. It's very abstract. It's like you're chasing a concept or an idea, but it has attached with something like an emotion to it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. Because like I have the Spotify playlist for Minute Shadows,
Yeah.
and then I'll listen to that while I'm doing the actual pages. And then there'll be like sculptures or paintings that I find at like a museum or on Pinterest or whatever that like sparks an interest. So then I'll use that as like I guess an anchor of inspiration for this chapter.
hmm
So like a little bit, there's a story on the line for Many Shadows where he goes after an artist, and the entire chapter, the environment is like made out of sculptures of hands, heads, all these different weird things that are inspirations to that artist. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot having to do that in every panel, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it should be worth it.
Because you know what it
Oh.
is? You know what you're chasing after? Like, this is just my interpretation, so correct me if I'm wrong. You're basically chasing the end result. That feeling you get after you read the story, all of that. So you're actually starting almost backwards. You're trying to get that feeling, and then you start to see what made that feeling. So now you find all the reasons to go with it. You see like character building, world building, everything. That's kind of cool. It sounds very difficult. So, but Ray, do you kind of relate to that? What Caleb said?
Absolutely. I mean, once you catch a vibe, it's kind of like all consuming.
hard to let go. You got the tiger by the tail.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just have to go with it, and the vibes honestly kind of make the story.
Yeah.
Especially if you continue on with them. Like it's again, like I was saying before about being informed by the stuff that you're writing and the characters and stuff like that. Vibes are the same way. They're the same way. They just tell you where to go.
All right, we've got about 8 minutes left. We have $45 on the bride, $60 on the storm, $50 on Brianna's piece. 125 is standing on the alien, and waiting to get a bid on Mars. Okay.
Jacob, have you actually sold your originals before?
No, actually, I have not. Or actually, that's a lie. I have, but not through like professional channels.
So this will be your first experience then.
Yep.
I'm not
Oh my
sure I
God.
would call this a professional channel, but
But-
thank you.
No, then Jacob has to be responsible to ship, package,
Yep.
all of that. Yeah, if you have any questions
You
on how
can
to packing this guy,
you can ask
just
me.
message us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very nerve-wracking for the first time because when I first did it, I was so scared. So yeah.
I've been packing and shipping stuff for 40 years. Anyway,
Not a professional channel. Gee, thanks, Mel.
I don't want to. We're good. Okay. I'm just it just seems like that's a really, really high tier. But yeah, I do love the show and appreciate it, and that DXP is actually asked us to come on and bring our show here. So yeah, I do like that. The caliber of people that we bring in here, the support that we get from the studio. There's a lot of people that are working here. It's just not just me, Mog, and Kyle that's in the background. So to have that kind of support behind us, I know a lot of other stations or podcasts, they don't have that kind of support. They do it all on their own. So we're pretty fortunate to have that.
Wow, good
But
save. Very good save.
Good schedule.
and because of that, we'll be on next week, and it'll be kind of like a girls' night because we do have Sarah White who'll be coming back to the show. I haven't seen her in a while, but she's got a new series that she's launching called Noctiluca. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Noctiluca, I think, is what you call it. She's got a nice colorist that we've worked with before from France, Martina Rossi. We're hoping that she'll be able to come on. I'm kind of having to twist her arm, but if that's what it takes, so be it. And joining us also will be Jen Leonard. She's one of our regular rotating artists, so she'll be back. She just finished some stunning Xenoscopes covers, so we'll take a look at that and see what else she has planned. And for the very first time, we have Marissa Pope will be here too. So we'll find out what's going on with her. I think she's actually doing Tucson Comic-Con this weekend. And so we'll get an update from her and see what's happening in her neck of the woods as well. So stay tuned with us next week, and we'll have these girls on. I'll be the only male, so I'm going to be feeling pretty lucky there. All right. And we still have some minutes left on the show. I can't quite see the time where I'm at right now, but if you want to place any further bids on these pieces, go ahead and do so in the comics. And if you are the winner, make sure you fill out that form that'll come up on the end, and that's where you can provide us with your information so I can send that out to the artists. They will contact you, collect everything from you, and ship the product out to you as well, right? So the piece may not be finished by the time we get off the air, but it will be by when they ship it out to you. So there may be some additional work that will go into those pieces. Like what we know, Mog will not finish on time. She's probably about maybe 70% done. Ray is getting there with his the ink storm that's looking beautiful. There's that alien is looking rad.
Thanks.
Bride is just a hottie. Bran, I'm going busy on there.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you'd like to ask, Mark?
Me?
Yeah. And there it is. There's the link. So if you go ahead and if you are the winner, make sure you fill that out, and we will get you guys going. All right. So before we get off on the air, let's finish off. Let us know let everybody know how they can get in touch with you if you have any sites that you'd like to share. Let's start with Ray.
You can find me on Facebook at RA Height or at Instagram on either Studio Sky Tiger Comics or RA Height Comics. But yeah, I think those two are great. Oh yeah, and Blue Sky under RA Height.
There you go. Okay. And Caleb?
Facebook is my name. And then on Instagram, it's DJ Space Invader _art.
Okay. And do you have a launch page for your for Man of Shadow? You do, right? Okay.
Yes, I do.
All
It
right,
should
so you
be
can
in the chat.
Okay, yeah. If you can't find it in the chat, search Man of Shadows and you'll find that. All right. And for your covers, Caleb? Is it just you that are doing covers?
So I'm doing 2. I got Brenna to do one, Jacob to do another, getting
Okay.
Mog to do another one.
Woohoo! Mog.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing a cover here.
Talking with Martin Simmons to do another one.
Okay. So that's what, 6 covers you got going there?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right, so look for that series, and if you can back it, go ahead and back it. And Ray is also launching his next issue of.
That's 2 weeks from now.
Right, that's right. In 2 weeks, and look for the launch page on that as well. And Jacob, how about you? Do you have any? How can these guys contact you?
You can find me on Instagram at 80draw or 80draw.
You draw.
And that's
okay, there you go.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Easy to remember.
Actually, I do have a question. One quick question for Ray.
Yeah.
This is just a shot in the dark, but I have a feeling I could be wrong. Are you surprisingly like you find yourself, man, you're good at drawing like machinery by any chance?
Actually, yeah, I am. What made you think about that?
It's because
Wouldn't you like to know?
it's because I feel like I can understand you. Like
Oh,
you have a very logical mind.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
it's kind of resonates a little bit with me. And for some reason I hate it, but I find myself, I don't know why, good at drawing mechanics. Like I can understand it or something. I don't know why. I hate it, but I find myself good at it for some reason. So
that's how I used to be about backgrounds. I used to hate backgrounds,
yeah.
and now all I draw is detailed backgrounds, and I don't know what happened.
Can't get away from backgrounds.
Nope. And I think I just went all in.
Yeah,
I'm going to call this one done, you guys.
there you go.
Okay, awesome.
And Brianna, how can these guys get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So Instagram, it's kind of a long handle, but it's at Mochi, so Mochi,
Uh-huh.
Chim, Chim, Jiminy, Jimini.
Jiminy. Okay, got it.
That sounds so cute.
Thank you. I'm a huge BTS fan, so
All right, there you go. And if you want to get in touch with Mog, hey, well, you can find it here on the EXP with Mog. If not, search for Mog Park across all social media. If she's there, she'll pop up. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Wow.
Wonderful night. Thank you all. You guys did some magnificent art.
Thank you.
Don't forget to fill out that magic form if you are the winner tonight. And we will get that information out quickly to our artists so that we can go ahead and complete that transaction and get these pieces into your hands. All right, I'm pretty sure I posed for bride's hands prior to
You know, Stevie B, I saw your hands because I met you in real life. Your hands are not that pretty. I'm sorry. You have manly hands. No.
they are not thin.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and don't forget, next week we have Sarah White, Jen Leonard, and Marissa Pope joining us. So we hope to see you there. Thanks again for a wonderful night. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening.